Hey Tom, so let's start this interview off by just asking you about the pressure or the excitement of your UFC debut back in April.
I didn't have much time to really get excited because it was on such short notice, and as soon as I found out, I had a lot of things to do, like get my medicals done and give a urine test for the UFC and try to cram as much training in as possible because I found out in 12 days notice. I left like a couple days after I found out to go to Sweden. I never really feel too much pressure as far as nervous to fight somebody. I'm never really scared to fight anybody, but there was a ton of pressure just because it wasn't the way I expected it initially to be. Like I thought when I got in the UFC at first, I'd have some time to celebrate and be really excited about getting there, but everything just happened so fast to where it wasn't an enjoyable moment leading up to it, just because I knew I was very out of shape. I knew there were some certain things that weren't in my favor. So that's where the pressure was. The pressure knowing that I wasn't in shape was not a great feeling.
Just walk us through the fight for the fans that haven't watched it. Took place UFC on Fuel TV, Gustafsson versus Silva.
Yeah, the fight started pretty much the way I thought it would fight. The way I thought it would go. I fought Cyril Diabate, who's known to be a world-class striker, and I closed the distance right away. Took him down with fairly. It was. I don't want to say it was easy to take him down, but the first round was a pretty easy round. I dominated. I had him in side control. The crazy thing was I really couldn't punch too much or do too much because I knew I wasn't in good shape at all. And that was definitely playing on my mind, so I wanted to be very conservative. Second round started, he threw a kick. I took him down right away, passed the guard. I was already tired by then, and he was able to reverse the position. He got on top, landed some blows. I think I reversed the position back. Going into the third round, I knew I just had nothing left. But, you'll never see me roll over and just quit. As long as I can fight, I'll fight. And it was just a tough round, he got on top. I reversed for a second. He got back on top. He landed some pretty big punches and elbows. I ended up losing a majority decision. And, he's a great guy, awesome guy. I truly believe on a full camp's notice, I would have dominated that fight and finished that fight.
You don't believe in the octagon jitters?
I can't use that as an excuse. I think I'd be, giving excuse. I feel like bad even, not complaining, but, bringing up that it was 12 days notice. But the reality of it is, I pulled out of a fight that I was supposed to fight in combat April 27th to let my ankle heal. I fractured my ankle. And I was training, but I wasn't really training. I was doing more technical training. I was on a little mini vacation with my fiance the weekend before, and then, UFC calls and it's time to go. I was eating things that I shouldn't have been eating, but I used that. That more so had a lot to do with what happened in the fight. I didn't get tired because of octagon jitters. I got tired because I was just out of shape. I would never in a million years think I'd ever fight anywhere at 12 days notice, and that's just so happened to what it was. And the fact that it was in Sweden, different time difference, 6.5 hours difference in time, that there was just a lot stacked against me in that fight. That's all.
Let's move along here. Let's talk a little bit about your opponent coming up, Nick Tenner.
The fight got canceled. Did you hear?
Oh no! Really? That fight's not going down now?
Yeah, he got hurt, man. He pulled out of the fight, and they scrapped the fight. Yeah, that's what happened. It's very unfortunate. I'm so disappointed because this training camp was phenomenal. I felt phenomenal. I couldn't wait, for everybody to see, the world to see, what I could really do. Physically, I know just from the weigh-ins alone, people be like, wow, this is a much different Tom Deblass than we saw in Sweden. And people who know me know who I am and know what I can do. But I was expecting to shock the world a little bit. But at the same time, this definitely secures my spot in 100% going down to 185 in my next fight. And I know me, I believe I would have beat Nick Penner, and knowing me, I would have stayed at 205. And ultimately, I think 185 is the best career choice for me.
When did this all go down with Penner?
A couple of days, last Tuesday, we found out. Man, it was pretty rough. You know, like I was pretty heartbroken. You know, for a couple of days, but then I realized that everything happens for a reason, and I'm not going to question the man above. And you know, I can only control myself. I can't control other people or what happens. And you know, I really wanted to get this win and really enjoy the rest of my summer on a win. But in a way, I feel like you know, I won already, because I learned so much about myself through this training camp. I completely, like, even though I was 7-0 before the UFC, I completely changed my training altogether, and really buckled down on a lot of things, and really trained as a UFC fighter should train. And you know, that being said, you know, I took a ton of time away from my family, from my fiance, from my daughter. I wasn't able to teach as many classes at my school, so definitely sacrificed a ton. So when the fight didn't happen, I was a little bit bent out of shape. But you know, now I'm enjoying time with my family. I'm able to teach every single night at my school again, and I know what's to come. You know, my next fight, especially when I'm dropping down to 185.
So I was going to be talking to you tonight. I was going to be asking you about cutting down to 205 pounds. I want to know if there was ever any issues. But let's just talk about going to middleweight, going down to 185.
Yeah, I'd never liked cutting to 205, to be quite honest. You know, when I fought Sonnen, I weighed in at 205, and 3 hours later I was 224 pounds. You know, I was a big, solid guy in that fight. Fight against Surreal, like I said, I was a bit out of shape. But, you know, I'm standing at about 218, 219 right now. And my plan is to get my walk-around weight within the next month. I mean, you know, in a perfect world, I wouldn't fight until October or November. But it's not a perfect world, you know. So maybe UFC will call. Maybe I'll have a fight in September. I don't know. But I want to get my walk-around weight down to about 205 by the first week of August. And I'll make the cut from 205 to 185 the final week of the fight, which will it's much more terrible than people could imagine, you know. And I expect to suffer, and it's not going to be fun. But you know, everybody's doing it, man. You know, everybody's huge. I mean, I'm a big, strong guy. I feel I'll be at 185, but I'm not the biggest at 185. Hopefully, I'll be one of the strongest. But you know, I mean, everybody's cutting from this weight right now, man. It's crazy.
Just wanted to ask you about the fight this weekend in Las Vegas. We got Sonnen versus Anderson Silva 2. Who'd you got?
I got Silva, man. You know, I just think that, you know, apparently he was hurt. You know, he had his ribs hurt the first fight with Chael. And if that's the case, I 100% have Silva. You know, and I don't see why he'd lie. You know, I think Chael showed some vulnerable points against Bisping. And, you know, if Anderson's on top of his game, he's a problem. He is definitely fired up to fight Chael. Chael did a lot of talking for this fight, like he always does with everybody. And he's a phenomenal athlete. You know, he's a great fighter. He's super, super tough. But, you know, Anderson's proved himself time and time again. That being said, I would not be surprised if Chael won. I do pick Anderson, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chael won.
Finally, last question we got for you. Fantasy fight. If you could fight anyone in the middleweight division, who would it be and why?
You know, I've had the opportunity to do some things since I started training martial arts that I never dreamed of. You know, win the Pan Ams, you know, win the Nogi Worlds, win the Abu Dhabi Trials, compete in Abu Dhabi. I just got it, you know. A lot of people don't realize I've only been fighting professionally now for 2 years. You know, I made it to the UFC in 2 years. I went 7-0. Those people who know me know I don't do anything to be second best. I was completely devastated, heartbroken when I lost to Surreal, and I actually realized that I have to change my mindset a little bit, because in this sport, in UFC, man, anything can happen. You know, like I I never want to lose another fight in my life, honestly. Until the day I retire, I never plan on losing. But, man, like, you go out there and you get caught, you get cut, you know, it happens, you know. And right now what I'm trying to do is really enjoy my time as a UFC fighter, really be thankful to God that I had this opportunity to fight in the UFC and you know, even on 12 days notice, like, put up a good performance against Surreal and just be where I think, you know, like, millions of, you know, aspiring fighters want to be. But my goal, my fantasy fight would be to one day fight for the title, who's ever holding that title, because I am not moving down to the middleweight division to be another face in the crowd. You know, I'm hoping to really make my mark, and it might sound crazy, man, but I'm looking to make a run.
Good deal, man. We appreciate you taking the time. Would you like to throw out your Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter at Tom Deblass. You know, it's not. I respond to everybody. Even if you shot me an email on Facebook, you know, I respond to everybody. I try to be as friendly as possible. If I ever don't respond to somebody, it's because I'm just, you know, super busy between my family life, my school, and my training. But if I could ever help anybody with anything, I'm more than willing to help.
Thanks for the time, and hopefully we talk to you before your next fight.
You're 100%. Definitely will. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, man.